heard the term intermittent fasting thrown around a lot lately, but do you know what it is and should you try it? Hello all you amazing moms, it's Natalie and welcome back to my channel where I give moms real-life strategies to stay accountable and motivated to look, feel, and live better with a healthy lifestyle. If this is your goal, make sure to subscribe right now. Hit that subscribe button and comment below with any questions or comments you have throughout the video. I have clients that really love this strategy. So today I'm going to be breaking down what intermittent fasting is, what the benefits that you can get from it, and how you could go about trying it for yourself. So let's start with, what is intermittent fasting? I'm just going to call it IF for the sake of this video. IF is not a diet, but it's actually just an eating strategy using time-restricted eating. This is when you use a specific pattern of eating or an eating schedule. You know, our bodies are always in one of two states. You're either in a fasted state or a fed state. Basically, when you eat or anytime your body is digesting food, it's in the fed state. Eating causes our body's insulin levels to increase to store excess energy from your food for later. But this obviously makes burning fat a challenge because it's working on storing that food in our body. And the fasted state is when you're ingesting no food and basically just having non-caloric drinks like water, black coffee, teas, and sparkling water. So without calories during our fasted state, this allows our insulin levels to lower, give those a chance to lower, and our body's able to then reach into those fat stores that we've been storing before and use that as stored energy. So basically, it's helping to burn up that, burn that fat. And this fasting time typically happens, when we're sleeping at night, if that's the kind of schedule you're on, or early in the morning, or depending on how long you're fasting, early in the afternoon. There's a lot of talk about the details of what's really allowed during the fast and how many meals that you can have during the feasting time or your eating window, but I'm gonna save that for another video. So if you're interested in that, let me know now in the comments below. What are the benefits of IF? Research shows that there are many benefits actually of IF, but here are my favorite 4. First, it gives your digestive system time to actually do its job of rest and repair and really digest all your food, which can actually help in reducing inflammation in your body. I think back to how I used to eat, and this one really hit me. I would start my first meal at 7 a.m. and then would eat probably about every 2 to 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, 5 to 6 times a day throughout the day. So, I don't even know when my body was even able to really digest its food and rest. It's no wonder why I didn't have really a good handle on my ghrelin levels, which is the next benefit. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, which sends signals to your brain when it thinks it's time to eat. If this is not balanced, though, you are going to always feel like you're hungry and you're going to get the hangry pains, and it's just going to be such an intense feeling of hunger. And I used to feel that all the time. Since starting intermittent fasting, though, I am so much more aware of my actual hunger, and I don't feel like I need to eat even every 3 hours. I can eat just really when I'm feeling that physical hunger, maybe like really having a growling tummy, and it's not on an all the time basis. Also, as a bonus, controlling that ghrelin decreases your unhealthy cravings too. The third benefit, it helps control your insulin levels. And this I kind of touched on before, is your storage hormone, which signals to your body to store energy from your food that you eat. Controlling insulin, though, is probably by far the most important factor in both losing fat and maintaining a healthy weight. Lastly, IF promotes the production of the human growth hormone, and that hormone helps our body burn fat, build muscle, and as a bonus, helps slow the aging process. So if you think this sounds interesting, how should you start intermittent fasting? Well, I want to first start by saying that most people could actually benefit from IF. However, it's not really recommended if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, if you've struggled with eating disorders, and actually if you are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you really should talk to your doctor first. I feel like IF is one of those eating strategies that you need to ease into though. When I started about 18 months ago, it was actually pretty hard for me. Like I said, I was used to eating right when I got up in the morning. I'm talking like within 30 minutes of waking up. And this was how I was my entire life. And in college, it was kind of a joke between my friends because we lived in a house with about 6 of us and nobody would even talk to me. They knew not to talk to me until I'd eaten my breakfast that usually was filled with sugary carbs. But I'd rather miss class or be late to class than miss my breakfast in the morning. So when I began, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to really get used to delaying my breakfast. I even got headaches, I kind of felt shaky, and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. But I decided to ease into it instead and just go a little slower, and that's what I recommend you do too. I'm sure you've heard of some of the popular fasting regimens out there, like the Lean Gain 16-8, where you're fasting for 16 hours and feasting for only 8, or even the OMAD 24-hour method of eating, where you're only eating 1 meal a day. I recommend just starting conservative, and this would be 12 hours of fasting and 12 hours of eating. Once you get used to this, just start with a few days, then you can see how you do for most days of the week. Remember, it's going to take your body a minimum of 12 hours to properly digest its food efficiently, so you definitely want to work up to at least this 12-hour minimum. Eventually, I recommend working up to a 14-10 method. So this would be 14 hours of fasting with no calories and 10 hours of feasting or during your eating time. I feel like 14-10 is the sweet spot specifically for women. Men can easily do the 16-8 and even some of the longer time. Research is really showing more and more that longer fasting periods on a regular basis for women are somewhat interfering with our hormone production. And you just don't want anything to get you more out of balance. So going back to that 14-10, just make it work with your schedule. You can fast longer on your busier days where you don't have time to maybe fix breakfast, for instance. Just make it work for you. You do not have to do the exact same fasting schedule every single day. You just want to get that minimum of 12 hours in most days of the week. About once a week, I stretch it to the 16-8 just because of a really busy morning schedule, honestly. But, just do what you can and just make it work for your schedule. I hope that gives you the basics of intermittent fasting to determine if you want to try it for yourself. In my next video, be sure to stay tuned because I'm going to share another eating strategy on using cheat meals or not. So be sure to look for that coming up. And if you want to get accountable and motivated to look, feel, and live better, make sure to hit that subscribe button now and comment below with any questions. Let's get fired up. Bye.